Welcome back to another episode. This time we're going over simple ways to do color correction in Adobe Premiere. So normally when you open up Premiere, you'll be in the editing tab. So we're going to click over to the color tab. This way you get the lumetri, scopes, and all that. And then you've got, very similar to Lightroom for those of you that use that, we can up the contrast, which as you see, that'll move with the scopes. We might have to let's lower the highlights so it's not quite as blown out. Because basically 100 and over is pure white, and 60 and below is pure black. So we want a nice contrast, so that, as you see, spreads the scopes. This is all footage for a future episode that I've been filming in a couple different lighting setups. So we'll want to bring down the exposure a little bit, but we don't want to get it too muted. I like to bring these down and just give a little more contrast, bring down the shadows a little bit as well. And then if we click off and click on, you can see that's the difference we're making so far. And then obviously you can do a little bit, make it a little bluer. We don't want that. It was kind of a cloudy day when I shot this. A little bluer. The green's a little overkill. So yeah, that's looking good. There's our before, there's the after. Before, after. It might look a little blue. There we go. And then the second clip was me doing a talking head during this. And if we want to be super easy, I've got this road closed sign behind me. I could do the white balance selector or the eyedropper and just click on it. See a little change. A little bit. Let's still up the contrast a little bit, but bring down the highlights so we're not overexposed. Bring down, see, if I bring down the white itself, makes a big change. Bring down these just to give a little extra contrast. And then you could also do a saturation, but especially with my face, let's not oversaturate that. So again, here's the before, here's the after. Much better. Bringing everything down. And then this was actually in a parking garage. So we don't have anything, because this light back here, we can't actually do like a spot off of because it's going to be too bright usually. So yeah, it won't register anything. So let's cool it off a little. I guess we could do a spot right off that. There we go. Let's cool it off. I don't like that. Let's actually decrease the contrast for just overall, but I would still want to darken some areas. We don't want it to look too dramatic though. You can bring up the shadows. Let's bring down the shadows. Down the highlights. Bring down the white just a little bit. And then here, once again, before and after. Big change, like subtle changes. And this last clip, right downtown, St. Anthony main area. Let's do our eyedropper. Sometimes it just is nice to have the computer calculate some stuff. Other times it can be a little wrong. It's not always perfect. Let's up the contrast a little bit, bring down the highlights, bring down the whites a little bit, crush here. And yeah, there's multiple ways to do this, and then if you want to get a little more advanced, you can also add a LUT, but usually that's more fun in here in the look table. Let's go monochrome. And then we can do the intensity. So almost get a little bit of a desaturated look. Hook with the monochrome. So here's nothing. So this is the intensity, obviously. Here's the setting they want you to have, roughly. And then here's a very contrasted version. So then if we wanted to do that, we would then also need to go back in and readjust the highlights and that kind of stuff once we put the LUT on there. But we are going to not use that for now. But here in the creative tab, you can also do the faded film look. Just kind of drops the sharpness. Sharpen the image a little bit. Add some vibrance. So the difference between vibrance and saturation usually is this will do more of your midtones on saturation, whereas the saturation overall kind of brings up everything, is how I've had it described to me usually. So hopefully this helps. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me at Knocked Out Films on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks.